Greetings! Welcome back to my channel. This is Dreamfeather here to do a collective reading for you this time. And if you're new here, welcome in. I do offer personal readings. You can book down below. I also offer hypnotherapy as well as shamanic healing services. You can read all about that in the link I provide below if you're interested, and otherwise we'll get right into the reading. While I was meditating upon your energy, I kept hearing the phrase ring true, ring true. So maybe it's something about words ringing true, or an actual ring and the truth behind that. We'll see maybe if this phrase ties into the reading at all, but today's topic for our collective reading, it's the last day of February, and I kept wanting to do a Valentine's reading, but as divine timing has it, I waited a little bit and really felt the call to be here now. Keep in mind this is a collective, general, timeless reading, so no matter when you watch it, I intend that the messages resonate through space and time in that quantum ethereal field that we're all existing in. So at this certain point in time, it is February 29th, so the last day of February. It is a leap year too, so it just feels kind of like a portal energy day today, and really excited to see what comes through for you, dear ones. So let's see. What are the messages for the collective? And I want to do this in the vantage point of Cupid. So what does Cupid have to say to you? We have our little cherub angels there, and Cupid has been coming to me recently as like a guide, and I just love the angels and the cherub angels, and maybe you also resonate with that. So collective messages from Cupid in this timeless psychic reading. Let's see what comes through for the collective. What are the messages, Cupid, for the collective here today? And because it is Cupid, it will be more in the vantage point of love, la la love. Alright, what does the collective need to know, please? Great Spirit, please, Cupid, I allow you to work through me and speak through me for these messages for the collective here today. What needs to be known in love? Wowza! We got our first card here. Death wants to make an appearance. This is one of my favorite death cards. Alright, what else needs to be known, please, Great Spirit, for the collective in love, especially messages from Cupid? Let's do one more card, Great Spirit. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes I do reversals, sometimes I don't. Today I felt like reading the cards upright, because the messages come through either way, no matter if they're reversed. Oftentimes I find when channeling. So we have our death card as the first card that came out, and you know, death, number 13, the number of the goddess, the number of the 13 moons of the year, and all those cycles that ebbs and flow are becoming and are unbecoming. You know, death really is such an illusory aspect of life, and it's making me think of the deity Shiva, Lord Shiva, the destroyer of worlds. So, you know, destroying what needs to be destroyed so that new life can be birthed through that. Energy is neither created or destroyed, so there's always some fruit or some blossom that comes from that compost of our, you know, demise, as it were, internally. And we're always going through this alchemical process, whether we're conscious of it or not, of that, you know, cyclical nature that all things go through in that spiral journey. Just like the caterpillar and that chrysalis has to become goo and literally has to dissolve within itself in order to emerge with the wings of the butterfly. And we see the yellow butterfly here in the card, as well as a white rose, and he's robed in that crimson red, cloaked by the crimson red, our death card, the death guide. And it almost looks like a giant, oh wow, I didn't actually realize this. It looks like that's actually a flag. I thought it was a scythe that he was holding, but it's actually a giant black flag that he's holding. Wow. Death, what needs to die? What narratives need to fall away so that you can be that love that you already are? Because love can feel so elusive. For example, if we're reaching outside of ourselves or, like chasing it. But the minute that we drop into self and realize that actually, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about us. It doesn't matter whether even the person we love, loves us back. Because from a place of true unconditional love, we can hold another person in that love no matter how they feel back towards us. And that's the great distinction between love and attachment, because attachment says, attachment has these conditions upon it to where, for example, let's say you have a crush and you feel these feelings towards them, and within that there could be a lot of fear that comes up. There could be a lot of fear that rises to the surface when we get those, feelings that cause us to feel vulnerable when we feel loving towards another. And maybe we are kind of scared because we don't know how that other person feels back towards us. And we can get ourselves and spin into all these worries about that. At the same time, though, if we go too far into the worry aspect, that's more attachment, because then, we're attached to another person having these conditions about how we want them to behave towards us. And sometimes if they don't behave that way, then we can feel really crushed. And at the same time, if we hold that person in unconditional love, then it really doesn't matter how they feel towards us. And we can just honestly put to rest all those fears and all those worries, because at the end of the day, my self-worth and my self-esteem is not contingent or dependent upon how you feel back towards me. I can love you no matter if we're meant to be together or not. I can hold you in the wings of love that I feel for you, and it's almost like the energy of attraction towards another person. It almost is like it has little or nothing to do with them, and it has more to do with us. And it's like we can use that energy to cycle through our body and really cherish our attraction as our own. And we don't need to make it so much about the other person. And it really is a way of reclaiming our sovereignty and our power and the love that we are, not needing anything outside of ourselves to reflect that back to us. And that's the great paradox, because the minute that we do that, the moment that we do that, outside of ourselves, when we truly embrace our own love as our own and just walk, see, breathe, speak from the heart of love, then other people subconsciously pick up on that loving vibrational frequency, and people naturally and organically will act loving back towards you. So that's what I'm picking up with this death card, is putting to rest any black and white thinking, those fears and those worries, and just, I'm also seeing a lot of protection here in this card, because we have the aspen trees, and the aspens look like they have eyes on them. And maybe it's almost like this way of omniscience I'm almost feeling with this card. It's noticing almost like the fragility of life, the, what do I want to say? The fleetingness of life has no room almost to be worried or stuck in cycles of pain or heartache. And it's like breaking free from that through the portal of death will just allow life to become so electric and supercharged on the fresh, new, exciting, like, breath of spirit that's being lived through you, that is calling in this really emotional, passionate energy that's rooted in like equal energy exchanges. Because I see here, this is like the Wish Upon a Star card, Nine of Cups, and this is all about, you know, dwelling in that reality, like allowing your dream reality to bloom within you without needing the outside to confirm that. Because truly that is the way of the shapeshifter, that is the way of the time traveler and the skywalker. Like, it is this way of believing before you see it. Not seeing to believe, but believing first. And this is all rooted in the law of assumption philosophy, you know, where we have to live as the wish fulfilled. Live that dream world right now. What would you be seeing? What would you be tasting, feeling, doing in that preferred timeline? And the more that you do that, the more that you ride that wave of splendor, that wave of basic goodness that you are, then the more that the outer is going to reflect and confirm that inner reality as so, because all of the outer is just a holographic dream of what we hold in the inner. So the Death card is like this amazing, you know, major arcana card. We have two major arcana, High Priestess and Death. Like, it's just so transformative and so high vibrational in that shadow work aspect of life. Going into the depths and the dark and hidden places and asking yourself, what am I ready to uproot? What am I ready to transform? What false narratives am I just no longer going to allow to take up any space in my consciousness? This is that deep subconscious work of going into the psyche and doing your meditation practices, doing self-hypnosis, doing, you know, subconscious mind work to reprogram the mind to be in alignment with that white rose of life, that purity of spirit that you are. Even all the shadow aspects are only spirit, like, what's that word? Distorted. The shadow aspects are only a fragment of spirit in its distorted sense. So how can you bring that distortion back to unity, back to coherence, back to harmony, and really see that growth that wants to happen? Because this is such an interesting Death card. You know, in Death we think of decay, but there's all this grass and greenery growing around him, and he has that beautiful flower, and he's just beckoning you, you know, to go into your hearts of hearts and light your inner flame. And this has been something that's coming up a lot with my clients, is like, how can I keep that inner spark, that inner flame lit within me, no matter the loss or the transition possibly of loved ones or relationships that have run their course on the outside? How can I remember that I've never not been on the path? I am the path. And so every spiral way the journey takes us is only leading me closer to my home, to my truth within the crystal core of my being, of my essence. And this King of Wands, the Death card is crowning the King of Wands, and there's a little lizard there at his feet, which represents, the lizard is very much like the, I believe it's the lynx or the bobcat, or possibly both, where they're like animals all about clairaudience, psychic hearing. How can I listen more to the whispers of spirit, listen more, and observe more in my surroundings about the pattern that I play in the constellation of my relations. It's almost like all of life is a altar, is a ceremony, and what character am I playing within that ceremony, within that circle? You know, maybe we might have these patterns that just aren't preferable, that we can alchemize in order to come into right relationship, right alignment with our desires, with our wishes, with our truth, because we have these desires within us because they're already a piece of us. There's already a seed within us that is wanting and almost wanting to be remembered, so that it can spark that with the fire energy, like a seed. It literally has to like burst in order to come up and then be nourished by the fertility of the earth, and then eventually come out and reach up towards the sun. So it's like, how can I align with that spark of fire that is in my central core? We're all elemental beings, and so much of the yogic tradition is like keeping that inner fire, the Agni they call it, the solar flame lit within me, in order to bloom and become like, and it's not even really becoming, because you already are it. It's almost just this sacred retrieval and remembrance into who you've always been, and just declaring it as so through your becoming, through your being. Because that's all the universe can like fractal out back to you or mirror back to you, is what we're being. And sometimes there's this disconnect between who we're being and what we are seeking. So calling that all into union through our actions is what I'm seeing. And I really see that you are on this path. You're maybe if this is you, the King of Wands, it's all about being lit on fire with your purpose. Or possibly this could be the Death card, you. And I'm trying to remember what zodiac sign aligns with death. It's giving me Scorpio vibes, so you could be a Scorpio, could be dealing with Scorpio. This King of Wands could also be someone in your field. I noticed that his left hand is reaching out, his right hand is on the staff connected above and below to the Great Spirit and to the Great Mother, the Earth, and then his left hand is out. So it's almost like receiving divine intelligence from the universe. But for me, it actually is almost like this, like, take my hand energy, like someone who's willing and open to like reach out to you and meet you halfway. So it could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who really like has their eye on you and is like very passionate, very super passionate. He has all the colors of the flame within his robes. I love that blue part of the candle flame, and that's depicted there in his robes, as well as the reds, the oranges, the yellow. And he's just such a fiery, passionate soul. He has like a little smile on his face, and he's just like very intuitive and charismatic and creative. He could really excel at any of the arts, and like within his field, he could be a very bright light who just like almost like demands reverence and respect for the quality of energy that he's cultivated within him and that he truly embodies. So this is someone who's very embodied in their craft, in their cultivating a life of passion, a life that is very also rooted in courage. They could have gone through a lot to get to where they are now. I see the lion there at his heart center. And interesting, because his hand is out, and then this other person, their hand is also out, giving the coins to people. And he's got the scales there balancing. So this is that like reciprocal energy, equal give and take, and like how in relationships, okay, this is what I'm getting. We have to give ourselves first what it is that we want before another can give that to us. So making sure not to expect or feel entitled to anyone giving us anything, because only we as the masters, as the creators of our dream, of the whole dream of our life, have the power to give ourselves what it is that we want. And we have to do that energetically, internally first, and then the outer will reflect that. So it's the same with love. We have to walk, live, talk, sing that love that we're calling in, and then it will be given to us. And let's see what else I'm seeing here. We know with the High Priestess, I feel this is your energy, and I feel that you are in a time of really softening into self, into what feels good energetically to you, and dwelling in that place and being less preoccupied with what's happening outside, and honestly like aligning your energy within that coherence of the inner truths, the inner mysteries that you're communing with psychically. This is one of the most psychic cards of the tarot, the High Priestess, and she is a priestess of the moon, and this is a very yin-yang energy, the King of Wands and the High Priestess. So you could be very quiet right now, not really overextending yourself to anyone, and just kind of doing your own thing and going through that your own inner seasons of, you know, maybe you're going through an inner winter where you're just letting the old and outdated just slow off your energy field and kind of allowing in. I see you actually being pretty open to like opportunities that are here being presented to you. And there could be also a lot of people actually like wanting your attention, craving your attention and your energy, because I feel like you're at the place where you've really found your worth and your value. Just by you being alive is your value. It's not dependent upon what you do or your productivity or the titles that you hold or whatever. It's just dependent upon the fact that you're here alive as a human. Just like an animal doesn't question its worth, it just is part of that fabric of life, of that dance of life. You're kind of realizing with this High Priestess and this Nine of Cups energy that like you are such a rare gem and treasure in this world because you're you and no one else is you. And just through the light that you shine, the more that you're in that remembrance of the holy child of spirit that you are, the more that others have that recognition not only of you but of themselves, of like the more that other people, like it's almost making me think of the bodhisattvas, like people who have dedicated their lives to mind-body training and like holistic arts and, you know, different orders of spirituality, and how they just carry themselves in this way where they're just like, you know, it's just this alignment that other people pick up on that also like allows others to find that inner truth within themselves of that connection to spirit and how spirit is being lived through each of us. So that's what Cupid's saying, is like allow death to just transform, keep on transforming your energy so that your passionate nature can be ablaze and you can really like be aligned in your emotional body as well as the earthly pentacle energy of like what you're actually experiencing in the world. And like to live also, I see all these people have an open heart here, really facing their heart center open and allowing love in, allowing yourself to give and receive love is what Cupid's message is here, and to keep on just dwelling eternally in that energy where you already are all that you seek. You already have all that you seek, and you know that true love exists because you feel that frequency within you, because that's the energetic frequency wave that you're choosing to ride. And there's a lot of fiery, passionate energy here for you. Let's see what else comes through. I'm curious about this King of Wands. Let's see what else about this King of Wands. Wow. We have the Queen of Wands here, as well as the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is almost like this other confirmation that you are sailing away from something. You're sailing away from a way in which, and this rose quartz just fell off the table. So something within your mental body is dissolving, because I see this like ghost spirit here, you know, traveling in the swan boat to a place that feels more aligned. And this Queen of Wands, you know, she is tapped into her higher power, and she's tapped into her nature that is on fire with her purpose and her passion. I see a black cat here. You could be connected with the feline energy. And it's interesting because they're both facing each other, these two counterparts. Even the body language, like of the feet, are pointing towards each other. So I feel it's a very good omen that you are about to unite with an important soulmate. Could be twin flame energy even. And that you don't really see this coming with the moon card at the bottom of the deck. There could be a lot of things that are hidden right now, a lot of subconscious patterns coming up to be witnessed. And this is Pisces energy with the moon. The Queen of Wands could be a fire sign, yourself or someone you're dealing with. And they both actually have lions there at their hearts within their robes. So this is like a feline counterpart companionship that I'm seeing. And it's almost like the more you get on fire with what passions really spark your inner light, the more that you will be that perfect match and that light beam to where your counterpart can actually recognize you. Because if we're not being that energy of the counterpart that we're calling in, like our dream partner, how can we expect to get our dream partner unless we are also like cultivating those qualities of which we seek in a partner? Because they won't be able to recognize us unless we, you know, come from that space of being aligned in our frequency. And so often love comes when we're not knocking at love's door, when we are just doing our thing, and when we're really not seeking anything outside of ourselves to fill a void, because we have realized that there is no void within us to fill. That's an illusion, and that the only way to fill in any disconnection that we may feel is from the inside. It's not to look outside of ourselves for someone to complete us or for someone to give us something. It's us giving ourselves and meeting our own needs and giving ourselves permission to be joyful, be loving, be playful right now, right where we're at, no matter the circumstances. There's a way that we can spiral up the vibrational octaves and go into those more peaceful, equanimous, loving, joyful energies. And the first, I was just looking at this picture of like the emotional scale. One of the qualities emotionally that bridges from the lower octaves of like, you know, fear, worry, shame, guilt, etc., which are all those energies of like pining or longing after someone, for example. The bridging energy to more of the like neutrality, peace, love, joy, etc., which is where people like this bodhisattvas or those people who are disciples of, you know, spiritual traditions reside, or healers, mystics, you know, artists, things like that, where we're just like inspired in spirit. That bridging quality emotionally is courage. So how can I have the courage? Both of these people are super courageous, these fire signs. So it's almost like having that courage just to possibly, you know, even alchemize the energy in a way that we simply just accept right where we are right now. And we admit our feelings to ourselves and maybe even to another person. And you don't have to do that out loud. You can energetically commune, you know, with the energy body of another in order to allow the energy to just be more coherent. And again, having a crush or liking someone has much less to do with them, and it has way more to do with us. So we can just allow and keep that energy as sacred, and just allow ourselves to bask in those good feelings of like the possibility, the creativity of it. You know, it's these new beginnings are like this fresh new possibility. So how can I lean more into the possibility of what may come while not being attached to how it may happen? Let's see. Let me pull one more card here for the collective, please. Great Spirit. Cupid, please show us clearly, what does the collective need to know? Okay, let's see. Ooh, oh my god, okay, spot on with the twin flame energy, because we have the Four of Wands. This is a divine union. This is not only divine, but it is stable. Because if we can have all the passion in the world for someone, but until it's grounded, it might not mean much, you know? And I see that you're looking for a long term, you're looking for a forever partner, and you have it here. You are in that dance where it's this recognition. It's this recognition that almost like you two are both these warriors, warriors of fire, and you are making your love more grounded, first and foremost within yourself. Within yourself, you're allowing your love to ground and root, and all the things that are not like love and that are like repelling love, you're just letting that fall away into the fertile roots of the earth so that more flowers can bloom, so that it can almost like shape you and chip away at the pieces of the false self. The masks are falling away, you know, and you're just like dwelling in that lavish energy of attraction, of like passion, of being enamored with another person and being enamored with yourself. Like, you know, not in like an arrogant way, but like really truly coming into union with self is that prerequisite to come into union with another. And I really see that with this Four here of Wands. And interesting, because we have the Six of Coins and the Nine of Cups, and the 6 and 9 are an inverted aspect of, you know, a number. And so I'm seeing this mirroring 100% here in this reading. Mirroring that you both are, it's almost like you two weren't even really seeking to find love, but it just found you because you're so aligned in your paths right now that there was no, it's almost like inevitable. And it's making me think of the goddess Ananke, who is the mother of the fates, and she's a goddess, Greek goddess of inevitability, and almost like the primordial mother of the fates. And her counterpart is Kronos, time, Father Time. And it said that their union together was like this coiled serpent upon the cosmic egg that allowed chaos to transform into the cosmos, into the world as we know it. And so I'm kind of seeing that you're transforming your chaos, any chaos, into order and into just the pure love that animates all things, that is the only true reality in this fractal dream of duality, of yin and yang, where we get to choose, you know, where we want to be. Do we want to be more in the dark, more in the light, or in that middle path of integrated union? And that's what I'm seeing here. You two are in that integrated union. And they're both wearing colors representing the heart. She has the green and he has the red. And it's almost like rooting the heart energy of the green heart chakra into the red root chakra of the earth. And it's this beautiful dance that you guys are embarking upon. I feel energetically now, maybe you haven't come into union yet, but it's just around the corner. With this Four of Wands here, and the other card that came out with this is the Magician. So it's showing that you two are both tapped into the magi aspects of yourself, of, you know, of how you hold the infinity symbol, the infinite worlds there in the palm of your hands, and that you get to decide. You get to decide energetically the course direction of your life, and there's this new beginning here. Page of Pentacles, a new beginning, someone rushing in to deliver a message, maybe a confession, or, you know, just like sharing of feelings and making that rooted and stable into the earth, into the earthly realms. And, you know, it's like this fresh new beginning. And again, he has his hand outstretched out in front of him, palm open. And wow, this is just so high vibrational. I just am feeling like chills and feeling like, you know, just this freshness of spring in the air. I really feel elevated, and just almost like keep hearing this phrase, a breath of fresh air, a breath of fresh air. So your person, whoever you'll come into union with, whether you know who they are or not, and I really suggest, you know, being open to who this person will be in physical form. I feel like a lot of people are attracted to you right now. You could also be attracted to several people. Maybe you have your eye on one specific person, but it's like, stay open, because I don't really like the idea actually of manifesting a specific person. I know that's really popular right now on the interwebs, but like, I really love to leave it up to spirit. Like, I'm like, Spirit, just surprise me and just allow me to align with the energy that is that perfect soul ray twin flame companion. And when you align with your will with the divine will, like, that truly is the thread, the golden thread of miracles. And it's also making me think of the red string of fate, how like it's basically just aligning with the flow and with the river of life here flowing downstream with the seasons of your life. And with that goddess Ananke I had mentioned earlier, you know, it's like the inevitability aspect, how the fates are always stringing and weaving the webs of our life. And in some sense, we do have free will, but like at the same time, like some things are just written in the stars. So when we can relax into that energy of just trusting that my love is written in the stars, this divine union is written in the stars, so I don't have to try. I don't have to impress anyone. I don't have to bend over backwards or like do jump flips in the air to like make someone notice me or to like make this union happen. Like, I just literally have to retreat into self and into my knowing that it is already done by the power of 3. It is so. And just stay open, stay observant with this lizard energy. Be, be fierce like the cat and like this Queen of Wands, and at the same time, the cat and the lizard are both highly intuitive and are always just witnessing what's happening. So you'll get more clues possibly into who this is by simply noticing and being very observant of the body language of people around you. Because how much? I think it's like 50% of communication is body language. Little to no communication is done by words. It's like 7% and 43% is the tone and tempo of our voice. So notice the body language of people around you. Notice your body language, because sometimes when we're still working through that fear around who it is that, we have our eye on, like our body language could be saying something that's opposite of how we really feel, because the fear is that blockage there. So how can you soften into the possibility, into like, what if I just open up a little bit and just extend myself a little bit energetically toward the people I find interesting? And you'd be so surprised if you simply energetically, as it were, reach out your hand. You'd be so surprised who reaches your hand back out to you as well. And this is the beauty of co-creating in relationships. And so Cupid is telling you, to stay rooted in your desire nature. Your desire nature is here for a reason. It's your emotional compass leading you towards what is meant for you in this lifetime. Everything that you want is meant for you in this lifetime. Now, obviously, there's a difference between what our ego wants and what the divine will wants for us. So truly aligning your will with the divine will is going to allow you to flow a lot easier with how the universe presents these opportunities to you, because often they'll be presented in a way that the ego or the small self could never dream of, And sometimes the universe wants to bless us up even more than we could have ever dreamed. So I really like to add that on, to any spell work or any, ways in which you select your preferred timelines of like, this is what I intend, and I'm open to receive blessings and miracles beyond my wildest dreams. And just see what comes there, dear ones. Because there's so much just union I see here. It's just, I'm so excited for you. Like, I see these two counterparts. They're already dancing there in the astral, in the 5D. Like, it's already like, a reality, and they're both just aligning the fire energy within them to meet in the middle. And it's very serendipitous energy that I'm feeling, and it's both rooted in the emotional and stable. And it's interesting because I don't see any swords cards here. So I really, I know I've mentioned it a few times, about the fears and the worries, just because the death card is here, which could be, some things to alchemize. But also, like, I feel this death card here by this 6 of Pentacles is almost like making sure that you're giving and receiving in a good way, because we can't receive until we give that love that we seek. Like, if you want to have more friends, or if you want, like, to be more other people to be more friendly to you, then you be the change you wish to seek. Be more friendly, be more of a friend to people. And it's like that energy is totally going to be coming back to you, and it really is what we put out, we get back. It is that law of the universe. As within, so without. As above. This is in the astral here. If it's not already in your field already, so below. Oh my gosh. Wow. And this Magician card number 1, like, you both are tapped into your sovereign nature here. You both are that perfect yin-yang energy match, because you both have done so much work around being good on your own, and around, I really see like releasing any codependencies and working through just being the love of your own life. like truly witnessing the divine nature that you are as that magi of your world, with the fact that you have created every single happenstance, every single circumstance that's happened to you up until now. And that really is that way of the magi, is to transform and alchemize pain into pleasure, wounds into the elixir of healing that only we carry, because we hold that lived, kinesthetic, felt experience, and that we can become that healer, that teacher, that guide for others through that heartache, that pain, that loss possibly that we've gone through. And gosh, I just see so much fire energy, so much illumination here. Not only are both of their wands lit up, but then we see at the Magi, you know, here we see the two candle flames, black and white, lit up. And then at the Four of Wands, we see the crystals lit up there at the top of their little, like, lovebird structure. And gosh, this is just amazing. So let's see what the Oracle has to say here for you, dear ones, light beams of the universe who are tuning in. Let's see, what do the mermaids and fairies have to say? Wow, we have a new dawn. The worst is now behind you and positive experiences are on the horizon. Yes, a new dawn. And then we have positive energy. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. That's also what the Death card is saying. Don't pay any mind to the wicked or to the evil or to the naysayers. It's reminding me of this quote by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras, the like godfather of yoga. And he says something like, you know, basically just be indifferent to darkness or to evil. You know, cheer people on when they have good fortune, and then like just dwell in that joy that you are. And it's interesting because there's like there's a gray line here between being indifferent to the darkness, because in some ways we have to go in and we have to face our inner darkness. That's the only way that we can really draw that back home and use that darkness for fuel, or for that, fuel to light our flame, and to be that, you know, light beam, more of that light beam that we truly are at our core essence, and not out of our shadow aspects. So I just want to reiterate that there. But this positive energy, you know, it's also a very playful energy, because I'm seeing a lot of dolphins. And to make sure and like join those communities that are going to remind you of the positivity that you are, and of those truths that can allow your life to flourish. Let's see what this angels have to say as well. The new dawn is coming. And it's making me think, you know, the dawn time and the dusk time are those in-between states where there's so much magic. Seeing the sunrise, seeing the sunset, the witching hour at midnight, which is that line between, or that time between, you know, the previous day to the next day. Like, these are all portal times, and you can use those times to align your will to the magic that you'd like to create in your life. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, we have the Union of Hearts. A love connection defies explanation. I literally can't make this up, y'all. Okay, so it's happening. You guys are already embracing here in the astral, and it's only a matter of time before this ripples out into the physical. Wowee! I'm so excited because I see so many tarot readers like delivering this message. The astrologers are all saying that, you know, Mars and Venus are in Aquarius, and then we just had that conjunction between Mars and Venus. So this is a time where there's those soul flame twin ray energy counterparts are coming into union for the healing of the collective is really what it is. Because when two people are sovereign and rooted in their true nature, they become a healing lighthouse. When two energies mix and mingle, that energy becomes amplified. And two people who are rooted in their sovereignty, in the liberation of their consciousness, and are creating their dreams, you know, acting fearlessly and really day by day, just more and more, you know, doing what lights them up and creating so much value in the world by simply choosing to be joyful in a world that could be maybe very hard to keep that joyful light ablaze, you know? Like, this world can be so challenging. It can be so just dense sometimes, and shit gets really real in this 3D realm. So these two people who are like on fire and just so charming and charismatic with the inner love and the inner joy that they feel and that they really radiate and embody and radiate out to others, like, it's just, again, I'm getting that phrase, it's a breath of fresh air. And the union of hearts, number 28, that makes a 1, which is the magician number again. And I really see that the two of you have tended to your own gardens first. And you've had to possibly really, like, you know, you've had to feel that pain of separation, that pain of not being with your beloved. And you've truly had to just transform that into inner union, the Hieros Gamos, you know, that connecting energy of the spiralic, you know, snakes that go up the spine, the Kundalini energy, the male and the female coming as one within yourself. And this is why you're receiving this divine counterpart outside of you, because you've realized it's that like, it's that energy where you've realized that you are true love. You are the prayers, all the prayers that you've been whispering out into the ethers. You are that. You are that union. You are that devotion. You are that magnetism, that attraction. You are that. You are. Whatever it is that you claim, that is who we become, and that is what we see mirrored outside of ourselves. So I see this just loving embrace of self and of another. And I really feel that, you know, with this transformation card of death, I think your whole life is about to transform, because you've realized your power with the Magi here. You know who you are. You're rooted in your multidimensional self of past, present, and future. And therefore the future becomes very malleable because you're so rooted in the present. And you're not seeking, you're not longing, needing, wishing, wanting, hoping. You are that you seek, so you don't need it anymore. And it's that defining factor of not needing it that the universe says, yes, yes, you are it, and so it is yours. This love that you are, it is yours. Wow. And then again, we have the second message saying, be willing to express love. This is what the 6 of Coins is all about. Be willing to express, be willing to give. You have to give so you can receive. And be careful with this 9 of Cups, because this can sometimes be a bit of like addictions or gluttonous energy of like wanting to keep too much. And I think that's why the Death card is here too. Make sure it's that free flow of energy where you're not holding on to anything too tightly. You're not giving away too freely. You're balanced. Be willing to express love to receive love. Remember I just said that? You have to express it to receive it. So just be that loving nature that you are. Not to impress anyone, not to like get anyone to notice you, but because it's who you are. You just be that love that you are, and it's like so miraculous how the universe will just set things up in your favor of like just allowing more love in your life. And it's crazy how not only do we get more love when we're in that frequency from, you know, possible suitors or like, you know, people who could be a good match for us, but it's love in all forms. More love from friends, more loving relations with our family, more loving with our pets, and then it's almost like we're just high on the ecstasy of love itself. And then we can start to realize, oh, all the blades of the grasses hold this love code. All the winds and the ethers that are constantly, that we're swimming in, you know, is love. Like love's longing for itself is being expressed in all this world of form. And when we can align with that energy, we can really release and let go of any neediness, clinginess, attachment, needing anything to be one way, needing people's validation and approval. None of that matters. Because when we're rooted in the light of love, we can hold people in our heart of love without them needing to act any way towards us. We can be loving towards people who are attracted to us, people who are repelled by us, people who are neutral towards us. We just love because it's who we are. And it's almost like holding people in that love that a grandmother has for her children, where she's like kind-hearted and almost like disinterested and just like basking in that. Those pleasant feelings. Like, how can I move? This is what this Cupid's telling you with this Nine of Cups. How can I move more in pleasantness? How can I look more for pleasantness and expansion in my life? Look more for that and see what more that string, that golden string will bring towards you. Because the universe gives you us only what we're looking for. So look for connection, look for belonging. And then again, we have the second confirmation, demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those around you and act on it. And then this is number 48. 8 plus 4 is 12, which equals a 3. And it's making me think of when two people unite. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2, it actually equals 3, because when two people are together, it's almost like this, there's another like energy there, and it's the energy of the relation between the two of you. So it's almost like this super conscious energy that you wouldn't have had you not united with another. It's almost like the consciousness of the divine. It's making me think of the Lover's card and how the angel crowns them. That is that third energy. It's this divine angelic energy which is almost orchestrating this union. It's what I'm feeling. And, you know, maybe even you've had a resonance with Cupid if you've come across this reading. Like maybe Cupid wants to work with you. Maybe he's been your guide in some ways, or the cherub angels possibly. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe we'll do one more card for you, my dears, before we tie up this reading. Alright, last messages from Cupid. Aligned with the Great Spirit. Please show us clearly what else. What else about this divine union of hearts, of souls, of minds and bodies? Oh my gosh, we got dragonfly. So this could be a power animal for you. Dragonfly, you bring light to this world. And that's really what I feel with both of these divine counterparts. You have so much light. You have so much light within yourself. You have so much light to give. And really the only way that we can give light is to be the light. in our own lives. So the dragonfly too is a very potent card of transformation as well, because I believe when dragonflies are young, they're called nymphs and they live in the water, and then they get wings and they go and fly about, and they're like one of the most also precise insects that like catch their prey, and they can even like, they're one of the fastest flying insects too. They can go like at lightning speed forward and then reverse backward like at the flip of an instant. So it's almost like, I don't know, I said lightning speed, so it's almost like this electric energy that you may feel with this person. And oh my gosh, like the wings of the dragonfly are almost very iridescent, and it's just like so reminiscent of like the beautiful summertime. And as I'm saying that, I see this beautiful dove just fly over through my window. So gosh, it's just so auspicious and almost like very blessed by the angelic realm, because the dragonflies are very connected for me like with the fairies and the elemental nature kingdom. So yeah, this is what I have for you, collective. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I do offer private readings if you're interested. All the information's down below. And merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. Until next time, dear ones, sending you lots of heart light.